guys, and welcome back to my channel. It seems like I've not done a sit down video in like quite a while. So today's video, as you can see from the title, is how to survive being a stay-at-home mum. Now, I have been a stay-at-home mum for the past 11 months whilst I've been on maternity leave. It's been a little bit different this time round because when I had Penelope, I just had Penelope and I found I could just take her along with me here, there and everywhere, and it was really easy. I could go to all kinds of places with her. But I have found this time quite difficult with having two children because it's just been a bit more of a struggle. You've got a toddler, you've got a baby to deal with, and it does become quite difficult. I've recently been going back into work on kit days, and the difference in my day is huge. And I was less tired at work, which is crazy, and I found it a lot easier to be more structured and like more productive whilst I was at work. And I have a few tips on how when you're at home you can sort of stay in that same mindset. So my first tip, it seems a really obvious one, but it is get showered and get dressed, and I mean fully dressed. Put your makeup on, do your hair. Even if you're not someone who likes to do your makeup and hair, then maybe just leave that bit out. But if you're the type of person that likes to have your face on like I do, then I would definitely recommend just coming up with a really short makeup routine and a really short hair routine. I used to take ages to do my hair and makeup. Honestly, I had all the time in the world. I would sit there just applying the makeup and curling my hair just at a leisurely speed. But now I can do like full face and full hair in like 25 minutes, which is insane, like insanely quick for me. When I have like my face on and my hair done, I feel like I can take on the world. I'm like a new person. But that's only 25 minutes for me to get like full face and full hair, and then like say 10 minutes in the shower, brush your teeth, whatever. So I find that I'll feel better about myself, I'll get more things done, I'm more likely to want to go and do things with the kids outside of the house. If someone does invite us somewhere, it's not a case of, oh well, I've got to get ready now. It's I'm already up and ready, as if like I'll get up in the morning as if I'm going to be going to work, but then I've got the whole day ahead of me. So if I do want to do something, I don't then have to sit and get ready. And like I said, I feel a million times better about myself. I have better self-esteem, and that rubs off on the kids. So then they're in a better vibe as well, because I find that if I'm having a dumpy day and I stay in my pajamas, everyone's in a bit of a dumpy mood and no one wants to be in that mood, do they? So get up and get dressed and get fully ready for the day. My second tip is sort of in line with that, is to have a routine. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a lover of routines. I love order. I will venture outside my routine, but I do love to have a good routine. And what I do is like I plan my day in stages. So what I will say is like between the hours of like 6 to 9 is breakfast, getting ready time, so if we've got nursery on or whatever, Kieran's going to work, is getting out sort of for those things kind of time. Then the next 3 hours I would probably say is like my productivity time. I'll normally try and get some cleaning done, and normally what will happen is like we'll all have had breakfast, we'll all be dressed, we'll all be ready for the day. If we've not got anywhere to go, well, we're all ready for 9 o'clock. So what I might do is then let the kids have playtime or a bit of TV time, depending, and I will get on with something. And then it'll be like lunchtime. So like say 12 o'clock comes, so that 3 hours is done. I normally try and give them lunch about 11ish, so I try and incorporate it into that 3 hour period. So then once lunch is done at 12, then we have like the next period of time, which is usually like Henry's napping time. Me and Penelope will have one-on-one time, and then I'm kind of stepping on toes of other tips, but yeah, we'll have one-on-one time, and then it'll be sort of prepping for dinner, tea, I call it tea, but some people call it dinner, whichever. So that time, cooking the meal, evening meal, daddy's coming home, that sort of thing. I'd probably say like 6 o'clock then is bedtime, bath, bed, story time, and then normally then it's mine and Kieran's evening time, so whatever we've got planned in, and then we'll go to bed. It's structured and it's not. It gives me plenty of room to put in my structured activities as well as my free activities. So if someone rings me up and they want to go out for the day, well, we're already ready at 9, so we can just jump out and get out the house and go somewhere for a few hours, and we have a lovely day. I'll have some time in another block of time to do jobs and stuff like that. Have a good routine, have a good morning routine to get everybody ready, and then also routine your day so that you know and your kids know what's happening, because a lot of the time I find if the kids don't know what's happening, then World War III. is just going to ensue and it's going to be chaos. Tip number 3, I would say, is to have some kind of behaviour/rewards program going on with your kids. You're with these children 24/7. If you're a stay-at-home parent, you have no break other than seeing other adults if you make play dates, or when your spouse, other half, whoever, when they get home from work, then you're still at home in that environment. And I find it is quite mentally draining sometimes. Even though it's lovely to be at home, it can be quite difficult. So when you find that you've got younger children or whatever, and they have a particular behaviour that is not what you're expecting, and it can become like a power struggle and it can become really draining. What you don't want to be doing is shouting at that child all the time, because you're with them all the time and it becomes a tense environment. And I found when like Penelope is played up for me, I don't want to be around her as much as it sounds awful. And I know other mums out there, I've spoke to them and said like when she's had a massive meltdown and I've got really worked up, she's really worked up, she can easily click straight back out of that and be back to being fine. It takes me a little while. Sometimes I can pass it really quick, but other days it can take a while to get past that and feel normal. Because if you were shouting at an adult like that, you're not going to be back to being normal straight away. Having a behaviour rewards kind of program, which we've been doing, is really, really helping our situation when it comes to tantrums. It's made a nicer environment. I'm not shouting as much. We're having a nicer day, and it is helping me survive that whole day, just me and those children, with no backup, no help, no other person to tag team off. I mean, I do not know how single parents do it. I mean, I really have an ideal situation having a spouse that I can bounce off of, but when it's all day, when you're on your own with these children, they can drive you mentally insane. We have like the rewards program, and it is really, really paying off. And if you'd like to know more about our reward system, then I can do a separate video on that, because it is quite a lengthy description, so I can go into that in more detail. But it has been really successful for us to get that desired behaviour that I'm wanting from Penelope, and we are having much nicer days together. My tip number 4 would be to get out of the house. I mean, as much as it is lovely, like I love my house, and as much as it is lovely to be at home in my lovely house with my children, it sounds like the ideal situation, but being in these 4 walls all day can send me round the twist. And it usually ends up with some kind of redecoration going on, which is what is happening right now. I'll nitpick at any, like, that's dirty, that's messy. Then you start getting stressy, the kids get bored. Oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. So I will find, even if it is just go for a quick walk, go to like Pets at Home and tell them that you're going to the zoo or something. That's what we do with Penelope. I mean, if they're a bit older, it's a bit different, but if you've got like preschool age children that you're at home with all day, then just go to your local garden centre, go to the park, anywhere, just get yourself out of the house, and it will save your sanity. Even just for half an hour, you'll come back home, you'll all feel refreshed, and you will feel a lot better about yourself, and it will help break up your day. My next tip would be to schedule an event each week, and you can even schedule an event every day each week. Try and not cram too much in, because you're going to end up getting stressed out getting to all these events. But I find that if I have a regular occurring event each week, like a certain play date, I'll meet a certain mum each week on the same day at the same time. Or if we go to, like, say Mondays, maybe we'll go to soft play every Monday, or we'll go to the park every Tuesday. So make it a regular occurring event, so that you know that day you have a purpose and you're getting up and going to something. You're not just getting up and willy-nilly finding things to do. And that also leads into like plan activities. Even if you plan activities at home, so be like, well, tomorrow we're going to do Play-Doh, or tomorrow we're going to do arts and crafts. And it's the same thing, like just plan, have a scheduled event going on, so that your kids and you know that you've got something coming up. It gives you something to look forward to, or your kids something to look forward to, and again, it breaks that day up. Another tip would be, and I find this is really important, even if you're a new mom and you're on maternity leave and you just new into the parent thing, you've got a brand new baby or you've got older kids, find a mother and baby group. My first mother and baby group with Penelope was like my lifeline, and I met 5 other mums there, and we are like best friends now. I never knew these ladies before. I didn't know their names, I didn't know who they were. And now we know the ins and outs of everybody's life. We've been there like for 3 years. We've known each other now. We've been there through marriage breakups, through weddings, through christenings, through new babies. Like some of us all have second babies now. And we're like each other's backbone. And if anything is going on in our lives and we don't feel we can talk to our family or our friends that we had already, because sometimes you will find older friends may disappear a little bit more, or you don't have as much in common with them. So my mum friends that I met at this baby group have been like my saviours, and I learned so much at these groups. We help each other out with it be toddler tantrums, whether it be weaning, potty training, anything, just a shoulder to cry on, an ear to listen. So go to a mother and baby group, and I guarantee that you will make new friends that are all in the same boat as you, and hopefully if they're like people like I've met, they'll be lifelong friends as well. Also at mother and baby groups, again, it gets you out of the house, because it can be quite difficult to find a way to get out of the house as a new mum. It breaks your week up, it gives you a purpose, it gives you something to look forward to each week, and I guarantee that you will enjoy it. And just get yourself out of your comfort zone and go to one of those. And as well, even if not just one of the baby mother and parent groups, go to the toddler ones. There's little play groups that they have on. Have a look for like a Sure Start centre near you, and I'm sure that you will find one near there. Another thing I've found when I've been at home all day is that my house becomes an absolute bomb site. I've got kids trashing it, I've got dogs running around. We're having like 3 meals a day here, and that means like lots of washing up and mess, and it just builds up and builds up, and it is easier to keep the house clean when you're not in it all day. So I've found that when I've been at home with the kids, like my house is just like not great. I mean, I'm a bit of a picky person anyway when it comes to that. If you know me, you'll know I'm a bit of a clean freak. I'm not like OCD or anything like that. I'm not in the sense of germs. I just like my house to look neat and tidy, because otherwise I get a bit like my anxiety flares up. But being home all the time, they just trash it. Like, they really don't care. You'll tidy something up and 2 minutes later, whoo, whirlwind, trashed. So what I have found is that I will have a cleaning schedule. So I will do certain deep cleans on certain rooms on certain days, which I'm going to stick to. I think you should do that when you are in work as well, because you're not home to do it during the day. So you'll need to come up with something yourself. But I have my specific cleaning schedules that I try and stick to and make sure I get it done. Because I also find that if you don't do it straight away, then you'll leave it till you'll be like, oh, well, I'll do it later. And that later never comes, and then it's the next day and it's still not been done. Because you're at home all the time, you think, oh, I've got all the time in the world, but the days just like go by and it's still not been done. Whereas when you go to work, I find that you get it done because you know you've not got tomorrow to do it because you're in work, so you'll do it now. So doing a schedule like that, I think, is really helpful, because then you'll stick to it, it'll get done, and hopefully then your house won't become like ransacked by these children that think it's okay to live in some kind of squalor and it's like you're living at the tip. I also have come up with for Penelope, obviously Henry's too young yet, he's only 9 months old, but Penelope is 3. Now she's not expected to do chores because she's 3 years old, but we are trying to teach her that she has to tidy up after herself because it's good manners. So she helps me with things. We've done her a to-do list, so this keeps her mind busy as well. This is also another thing to do to break up the day. So her to-do list helps her break up the day. What I've put on there are things like taking her plates to the sink, helping make the bed. But she has actually, after 5 days of doing this, she started making her bed herself, which really helped me out because it's one less thing that I have to do, and she makes it to a pretty good standard. I'm quite proud of that. Other things, so like when I'm doing the bedrooms, I'll give her a cloth and she'll wipe the skirting boards down for me. So I've got lovely clean skirting boards, all thanks to my 3-year-old, because she loves to help me out. Otherwise, she's under my feet, and it just gets to be a nightmare when they're under your feet like that. So I've given her the cloth. She feels like she's got a purpose. It's breaking up her day, and it's actually helping me out with my cleaning. So everyone's a winner. So I would definitely recommend getting your children involved in the chores and having a cleaning schedule, having a cleaning schedule, so that nothing gets like on top of you and you can keep up to date with things. And make sure you do the jobs straight away so that they don't all build up and you're waiting for tomorrow to get things done. Another way I have broken the day up with Penelope is to do some learning with her. I found that it was so easy to she'll want to watch telly, so you just put a film on, put Paw Patrol on, Baby Shark on for the 70 millionth time. I thought, no, I'm sick of this now. You're not watching telly all the time. So she does the jobs to earn TV time, but also on her jobs list is to do 15 minutes phonics learning, 15 minutes maths learning, and 30 minutes imaginary play. Now that might seem a bit excessive for a 3-year-old, like phonics, they don't learn that till school. Maths, why does she need to learn maths at 3? She doesn't like things like art. She loves learning like that. She loves that kind of learning. So I will actually sit with her and do this. So I am engaging with her for that full hour every single day, not a straight hour, it'll be 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. But I am interacting with her. We are having one-on-one mother and daughter time. She is having an intense session of learning, and it's helping her develop, and it's also helping us bonding, rather than me just sticking some toys out for her to play with, or sticking the TV on, or sticking YouTube channels on. I'm actually interacting with her. The system that I put in place has actually worked. It's worked to her advantage and it's worked to my advantage, and we've had really nice time doing it. And the imagination play, I just let her go with what she wants to do. I will sit and play with her. And now every single day since we started doing this, like I would play with her anyway, but not as intense. And since we've been doing this every day, she keeps saying, "Mummy, I love our playtime that we do." And it makes me feel like really special that I've actually made the effort to do that intense play with her, and she really loves it. And it's helping her with her imagination and her story building and her creativity. And again, it breaks the day up, and it's actually helping her academically and also our bond, so that we're getting a better bond, because it can be so easy to just put films on all day. Penelope will watch film after film after film, and I'm not saying I don't do that, we do that, but we've tried to limit it now and do it with these behaviours, and she has to earn her TV time, but she also has to do the learning time as well. And I find that has been so helpful to our time at home, and I've only started doing it in the last month, and I wish I'd have done it sooner, because that has really made our days go a lot nicer doing that. I would really recommend it, and if you do decide to do it, I'm sure you will see a difference in your relationship with your child and your child's development as well, because I think it's been fantastic for us. I may sound hypocritical here on this next one, but one of my top tips for a stay-at-home mum would be to limit social media. And I know I'm on Instagram quite a bit, I do stories, but I don't actually look through Instagram. Like during the day when I've got the kids, I will try to not be looking through Instagram, or I don't really go on Facebook that much anymore. I'll post stuff throughout the day, but I try and not look at other people's things, because it can become really damaging. And when you're at home all the time with your children and you're seeing people traveling, going out here and there, it can become like really bad for your mental well-being and your self-esteem. I mean, if it doesn't bother you and that's fine, and looking on social media makes your day feel better, then by all means do it. But if you're finding that every time you go on Instagram you're feeling crappy about yourself, then I would limit it. I would try and not look on there, or even just set a timer for 10 minutes and then come off it as soon as your 10 minutes are up, because it can be so damaging to people, especially when you are stuck at home all day with the kids with no outside interaction. If that's been your life and you've just been at home with these little people that don't really have a full-on conversation with you, you're not having a proper conversation all day, you're just by yourself, you're still wearing your PJs, you've not showered in 2 days, you're watching Baby Shark for the 75th time, and you're looking on someone's Instagram who's out for lunch in the city and then they've been whisked off to somewhere else, it can make you feel pretty crappy. I've been there. I've looked at Instagram and thought, oh, I wish I was doing that. And then you, instead of forgetting about it, you start to look inwardly and you were like, well, why am I not doing that? Why do I feel bad like this? And blah, blah, blah. You know, it carries on. Social media can be a pretty damaging place for someone that may be struggling. And I'm guessing if you're watching this video, maybe you have been struggling, and that could be a case that that you look on Instagram and you envy other people's lives, but you don't know the full story. I would just say get off Instagram, get off Facebook, and just limit your time on there so that it's not damaging you. If you are feeling like that, just get off there, because it's not good for you. And it's so easy to sit there scrolling whilst you're sat at home and the kids are watching the telly, and you sit there and you feel worse about yourself and worse about yourself, then you don't want to do stuff with your kids. So just get off social media. And my final tip will be to find a hobby, whether this is a hobby with your kids or just by yourself. I know you're probably thinking, how can I have a hobby when I'm at home with my children all the time? This is my hobby. Like, I love filming, I love finding ideas to share with you guys. I love the editing and having fun with it. I might not be that great at it. People might think, what you're doing, you're absolutely crap. But I find it fun. I love taking pictures like of myself and the kids and the house and everything, just to like sort of document our lives together, so that when they're older they can look back at it and look at all of our pictures. I may take too many pictures, but that is sort of my kind of hobby that I do purely for myself. It isn't really for anyone else, and if the kids want to look back on it when they're older, they can do. Henry just woke up from his nap and he wants a cuddle, so he will be joining me just for this very last smidgen bit of the video. So yeah, find a hobby that you can do. It doesn't have to be anything big, it could be something really small, like just taking pictures, etc. So that is my hobby. Like I said, I used to be a dancer, so I still do love to dance. I love to do yoga and that sort of thing. So Penelope will do yoga with me. It's pretty difficult when Henry's around, but it's just finding something that you can do that is for yourself, and maybe, like say, the kids can join in with you, but that little hobby for yourself, it will just give you something to look forward to. It is all about breaking up your day. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I'm not sure how many tips I gave there because I kind of got a bit lost in thought with them. I hope that if you're a stay-at-home mum and you're struggling, or even a parent that's going to work and you're just looking for a few tips, that this video helped you, because doing these things has really helped my sanity. It's helped save myself and my mental health throughout this time off with my kids. I will be forever grateful for having these 11 months off with my children. It's been fantastic, but now I'm going to be embarking on my journey back into work, so I won't have these lovely all days with the children, but I do think I will be a lot less tired being at work all day, because during my kit days I realised how tiring these children are on me. So I will be doing probably a little less videos from now on, because I'll be at work and it's going to be more difficult, but I will try and still get some videos out there and keep up with my hobby, because like I said, you still have to have things for yourself. Thanks again for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.